Okay, this is our third and final problem on the economics lab for my Calculus 1 class. And again, remember, this is just a tip of the iceberg for economics, but I wanted to give you a little taste of it. And this one said the total cost, C of Q, of producing Q goods is given by this cost equation of C of Q equals 0.01 Q cubed minus 0.6 Q squared plus 13Q. So this is our cost equation. So this is what it costs to produce Q items. Okay, so this is the number of items for whatever it is. Okay, they want to know the fixed cost. Well, the fixed cost is if I didn't sell any items. So the fixed cost is what if I didn't sell anything? What would the cost be? Now, say you're starting a coffee shop. So I'm just going to kind of plug 0 in for Q here and show you. And you haven't sold one cup of coffee, and you needed to still buy cups and have a place to sell it out of and all that kind of stuff. So the fixed cost, what that means is what is all the upfront costs you have before you sell one item. According to this equation, when I put 0 in here for Q for every single one of them, that you'll see that the fixed cost and whatever this is, it could be something online, is 0. That means there is no upfront cost for this. So that is a little bit different. So remember, the fixed cost is what would it cost before I sold a single item. Okay, now we're going to go on. What is the max profit? So we've been doing a lot of this, so let's practice another one. So I know profit is revenue minus cost, and they told each item sold for $7. So I know my revenue equation, which is X times P of X, and P of X, remember, is the price. So I know that's $7. So my revenue equation, let's use Q instead, is going to be $7 times the number of items. We're going to use Q for an item, okay? So there is my revenue equation because they told me that I'm selling it for $7 a piece. Now I want to do my profit equation, which is my revenue, which we said was 7Q minus, and the reason why I picked Q, because you'll notice this is in Q, we're going to subtract this whole cost equation. Now remember, when you subtract it, you've got to change all the signs. So it's going to be 0.01 Q cubed plus 0.6 Q squared. So I'm just changing all the signs, minus 13Q. There's my profit equation. Now I'm just going to combine the 7Q and a negative 13Q and put it in order. So my profit equation is going to be negative 0.01 Q cubed, say that 10 times, plus 0.6 Q squared minus 6. Okay? Q minus 6Q, sorry. All right, so now I'm all set with my profit equation. Now I want max profit. So remember, maximum or minimum, you have to have P prime. Don't forget. So I'm going to do P prime of Q. I just stuck it there. So when I do the derivative, it's going to be negative 0.03 Q squared plus 1.2 Q minus 6 and put it equal to 0. Now this one isn't very nice to look like to factor it, so we're going to stack and rack and do the quadratic formula because it ends up being a quadratic. So A, B, C, D. So my A is negative 0.03, my B is 1.2, my C is negative 6, and my D is B squared minus 4AC, comes out to be 0.72. Okay, so now I'm looking for my what number of products is going to make this a max profit. So I'm going to say Q equals negative B plus or minus the square root of 0.72, my B squared minus 4AC, all over 2A, so it's negative 0.06. So I'm going to do plus and minus. When I put the plus in, I get 5.85786. When I put it in minus, I get 34.1421. So I have two answers here. And what we're going to do is we're going to call this one 6 items because you can't sell part of an item. And this one, we're going to round it to 34 items, okay? Because you really can't sell part of an item. So that's what I've got to look at. We have to see which one is max profits. So I'm going to set up a P prime bar with both of these here. So I'm going to have a 6 here, and I'm going to have a 34 here. Okay, where do I go to check this? Well, I personally, on this one, would put this in my calculator and go to the left and right of the numbers. So when I did, it was negative here and positive. And then when I went over 34 items, it went negative. So here, this is a minimum. So if I sell 6 items, I'm going to have a minimum profit, which kind of makes sense. And 34 is going to give us a max profit. So looks like 34 items is the winner. That's what's going to give us the max profit. So I sell 34. So before we actually answer this, because they said, what would the maximum profit be? I'm going to actually graph this, and I wanted to show you what it looked like. So your calculator has no idea that we're talking about a profit equation. And if you'll notice here at about 6 items, see how my profit isn't negative? I'm meaning I'm not making any money. And then my max profit, it looks over here, I'm counting by tens, is about 34 is right up here. So let's do menu. Let's do my analyze graph, and we're going to do our maximum. And we're going to come here and see what that would be. So the maximum is 34.1, which we rounded to 34, and it said it's about $96.60. Well, let's see what that really would be. Okay, so let's come back here. We take the 34 items, we're going to plug it back into the max profit right here. So I do my max profit of 34 items is going to be negative 0.01 times 34 cubed plus 0.6 times 34 squared. I'm just plugging it back into that equation, minus 6 times 34. And when I do, and because I rounded, this is going to be a little bit different, I get $96.56 is my maximum profit. So this one right here, we used it to find how many items will create the max profit. Then we take it and plug it back into our equation here to find out really what is our max profit, and it's going to be $96.56. So I hope that helps as well.